That was awesome. Woo! I want to give a shout out to Tia Kelly on my team for that awesome video of last year's awesome Reader Weekend. Super happy to have a lot of the Reader Weekend faithful here with us tonight. Welcome to our remote Zoom version of Reader Weekend. I know everything is on Zoom this year, right? Every single thing, including Reader Weekend. So in Rhode Island, we were supposed to be together in Rhode Island last weekend, and as we all know, everything this year has been canceled. So we figured it would be great to see everyone's faces for a few minutes here tonight and have the chance to say hello. And, gosh, we all look forward to Reader Weekend all year. And this year we got screwed by the COVID. So I hope all of you are staying healthy. I hope that your families are staying healthy. I hope that everybody is well and hanging in there in all of this. We're doing okay here. Had a good summer despite it, because thankfully we have the boat, so we can escape it all and go out on the water and be away from all of the, potential hazards of the world right now. So I was more thankful for the boat than ever this summer. And I hope that everybody had something they could do that gave them some relief from all of this. So I want to talk to you a little bit about next year really quick. And we're going to put some more on the screen about that as we get further in. Tonight, we're very excited about Reader Weekend 21. We are acting like it's going to happen because we have no reason to believe that we won't find a way between now and June to make it happen. We are going to be in Sam and Nick's hometown of Washington, D.C., actually right across the river. Sam would not approve that we're going to cross the Potomac, but we're going to be in Alexandria, Virginia, and it's in June, the third weekend in June, and it's marieforce.com/weekend. All the details are up there. We've recently posted the day trip that we're going to do to DC, and we're also going to do a night tour of all the monuments, which Julie said we had to do. Now, Julie, who's worked with me for years, both at this job and the one before, is a DC native. And when she tells you have to do the night monument tour, you do the night monument tour. So that's what we're going to do. And we're still going to do the Friday night dinner and the Saturday night dinner and the Q&A and all of that. But we're going to add on this last little bit from 9 to 11. We're going to go and take a tour of DC at night, which I'm super stoked about because I've done it before, and I will tell you it is awesome. If you haven't done it, you need to do it. So I guess you guys have questions. So I said to Julie when we were talking about what can we do for Reader Weekend? Well, my favorite part is always the Q&A, because it's when we really get down to brass tacks about what's going on with the books and what you guys want to know more about. And sometimes we get some really, really, really funny commentary during this. One time I had to tell Dan to get my father out of the room before he had a stroke with what was happening in that room. And if you were there that time, you remember that it got a little crazy. So I always enjoy that so much. And so I thought, if we can't do anything else, we can certainly do that, So we'll do some Q&A tonight. You tell me what's on your mind, what you're thinking about, what you're excited about, what you're looking forward to seeing in DC. I would love to hear your thoughts about that. I will tell you that I want you all to buy Fatal Fraud on the first day for two reasons. One, I think you guys are going to love this book. And also, I would like to show the publisher who really kind of towards the end, just how much I don't need them. So if we could totally kick ass with this book, that would make me really happy, because they were a little extra, and really excited to be free of them and to be doing my own thing with these characters now, and continuing the series on my own. So the first question that I'm seeing actually is from Gwen Neff. So I will let her ask it. Julie's going to unmute her, I think. Is that how this is going to work? Am I doing it right? I can see my girls, but I can't tell if I'm making them happy. They both have a way of looking at me that lets me know they're displeased.
Hi, Marie. How are
Hi,
you?
Gwen. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
How you doing?
I'm great.
You're in Vegas, right?
I'm in Vegas. I'm very happy the Patriots won today. So
yeah. How are things in Vegas? Tell us, is Vegas coming back? Like what?
Vegas is slowly starting to open back up. And when I say slowly, the hotels are slowly starting to come one at a time together. So
yeah, well, that's good, you know.
Yeah, we're trying.
Vegas.
I honestly can't remember what my question was. It probably was about Fatal Fraud, because you know how much I love them.
It was about, what can I tell you about the new Fatal? I will tell you that the case in the new Fatal was inspired by something that happened right here in Rhode Island, where a woman was charged with scamming her closest friends and family out of money, basically, with an incredible Ponzi scheme that she's now in prison for, and trying to get out because of COVID. Oh, she's very sad because of COVID, but she's in jail. So I thought that was just such an interesting, you know, like one of the things that comes up a lot in Fatal Fraud is how much they dislike this woman that they're trying to get justice for, because, you know, she's a monster, basically. You know, she, like, imagine taking your closest family and friends, taking money from them, and then basically disappearing, you know? So, so she's my murder victim, and Sam has motive all for days, you know? And so that makes for a very difficult case for her. So I really enjoyed writing this book. You're going to see Gonzo coming back on the scene, some developments with him. You're going to see the first grief group meeting, which is Sam's special project with Dr. Trullo. So I'm really excited about this book. I think you guys are going to love it. And the early beta readers loved it. And so, yeah, I'm super psyched.
It's been very interesting because I'm doing my reread right now of the series again.
Oh,
and
good.
Yeah, I just started a Fatal Jeopardy today. So
oh, wow, I need to do that as soon as I finish Gansett. I'm on Gansett 16, and as soon as I finish Gansett, I'm going to Fatal. So yeah, you people scare me because you reread so often and I don't. So I mean, yeah.
Well, it's been interesting because since I've read the series several times, I mean, normally I do my reread right before the new book comes out, and going back, I'm just catching like different little tiny things that I keep forgetting that I keep missing. And I'm like,
little tiny things are the things that keep me awake at night.
Right. And that's what I was like, oh,
make a list.
Right. I'll start making that list, but no, I'm doing it.
Great. Don't forget about this. Don't forget that Elin said in book 4 that her father died. So when you're going to have him walk her down the aisle in book 13, that's not going to work. It needs to be stepfather. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it was just kind of like it's just been doing the reread and looking forward to reading the book. And, you know, of course, you know how much Austin from How Much I Feel was my boyfriend. He's still my book boyfriend. Haven't broken up with him yet.
I love him. Has everybody read the new Miami books? Yeah, if you haven't, I need you to, because especially Austin is particularly yummy. I'm going to scoot over for 1 second because I'm realizing my laptop is not plugged in, and it's I'm watching the battery go. So it's plugged into the computer, but it's not plugged into the wall. So this time I have my lights on, but my computer's not plugged in. So Julie, I'm batting 500. Hold on 1 sec. All right, here it goes. All right, there we go. The sweet, sweet lightning bolt. Woo! Gwen, it's nice to see your face. I'm super excited that we got a chance to say hello. Tia is telling me that I'm not showing up on Facebook, so I need to fix that really quick. So hold on 1 second. Let me see what I'm doing wrong there. Ooh, it's not letting me do it. Yeah, it's just not doing it, Tia. So you're gonna have to screen share. Yeah, so we're still new at this. And last time Emily did that part for us, and so we can tell that she was clearly critical to the entire effort. Yeah, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so who are we gonna hear from next, Julie? Let's see, I think, is it Crystal? Crystal Hunter? Good to see you, Gwen. you? Where are you right now?
Also Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is showing up hard here today.
But I actually work in the hospital, so I've been busy during all of this.
So you are not infected as badly as somebody in the hospitality business then, that's for sure.
No.
Differently, you're impacted differently, I should say. Yes.
Yes. So I actually had a question or kind of a conversation even to other people. I have read all of your books except for the Fatal series. So I just like started out like I've just been a big romance reader, and it's something about like knowing about the murder and the suspense that's part of them. I think that's kind of kept me from reading them.
Girl, you have got to get over that, okay? Because it is more, you guys tell her, it's more romance.
That was my question was more actually to other people. I'm like, was anybody maybe in like the same boat, or maybe they hadn't read Fatal, but now they have and like they love it? And
a lot of people. So I hear that a lot. So it's hard for us because we can't unmute everybody, but maybe towards the end we can, and we can have a free for all. But I hear that a lot. I hear, you know, I can't because of the murder. Listen. It's really murder light, okay? It's like Sam is solving a mystery, but in the midst of that, it's about the chaos of their life. I mean, you know, he's got a high pressure job. She's got a high pressure job. They're absolutely insanely, madly crazy in love. And that is like everything to them, you know? So you have to read it. Start with One Night with You, which is all romance. There's no murder in there. And then you'll open up with Fatal Affair, and you'll see. You can handle it.
Okay.
And I want to hear from you afterwards, okay?
Okay.
My good friend Marilyn, who you all know, is a Reader Weekend stalwart. Is she here tonight, Julie? I can't. Marilyn was a holdout on the Fatal series too, and now she's like devouring them. So, yeah, you have to read it. It's required before you go to DC.
Will do.
I look forward to seeing you there and showing you all the places you're going to read about.
I know. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you in hopefully a few, 9 months now? Geez. It's already September, mid-September. How'd that happen?
I know. I mean, when this whole pandemic started, and I just feel like, where did this time go? It's just been so chaotic.
I know the year has gone by so fast, though, despite all the craziness. And your original question was, if I could live in any of my book locations, where would it be? It would probably be Gansett Island, because Gansett Island is a real place. It's Block Island, you know, so yeah. So
I know that was the question I submitted, like a week ago.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. But I wanted to really know more about Fatal, and I'm definitely going to start reading it now.
I'm glad that you will. And I want you to email me and tell me, or come into the Fatal group and tell us how you were a holdout and now you're addicted.
Okay.
It's nice to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Good seeing you as well.
Hope to see you in DC.
Yes.
Come with Gwen. All right, let's see. Yes, Marilyn is saying to me privately, I had a hard time reading it at first, and now I love it. So there. And I understand that, especially in this crazy world. Like, nobody wants to read about, you know, stuff like that. But it's not bad, I promise. All right, who's next, Julie? Oh, she goes, Marilyn is here, and she didn't list her last name, but there's probably only one Marilyn. Of course there's only one Marilyn, right? For those of you that don't know Marilyn, I met her through my gynecologist, so I jokingly call her my vagina manager, and she's come on a couple of Facebook Lives with me, and anytime I have some sort of like hypochondriac moment, I call Marilyn and tell her, like, I tell her what my latest disease is, and she tells me all the reasons why I don't have it. And so she puts up with a lot from me, but I also keep her in books. So we have a good quid pro quo.
I have a question for you.
Hi, Marilyn. How are you? I was hoping you were going to be here.
Of course. Me not be here? Come on.
I know. I was like, am I going to see my girl tonight? And I was hoping that you were going to be here. She's literally in the next town over from me. Pre-COVID, she probably would have been sitting right here with me.
And I've been sending you messages through my patients that sending me messages.
Yes. So Marilyn has been giving out my cards and bookmarks and every single thing that she has to the patients that come into the gynecologist's office. So I call her my Northeast Regional Vice President. She keeps me in new readers. So thank you for that, as always, my good friend.
But I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
When are you going to write about Marilyn?
Oh, Marilyn wants me to include a woman named Marilyn, and she wants to be what, Marilyn? What do you want her to be?
I want to be a slut.
Okay.
It's 2 years now.
Okay, because I think maybe Marilyn wasn't slutty enough in her earlier years, and now she's realizing, like, you know, the only way it's going to happen, poor Jerry, your poor husband, the only way it's going to happen is if I fictionalize it. So I may have to bring a wild woman named Marilyn to Gansett Island and let Marilyn live out her misspent youth on Gansett. So.
But I have one question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
In the Miami books.
Yes.
No, sorry, not in the Miami books.
Not
in the last book, Rescue After Dark.
Yes.
How do you get the people's where they're from? Like you had him from he worked in Worcester, Mass. Well, yeah. It felt funny because I'm originally from Worcester, Mass.
I know you are, and I have another friend that lives there, right outside of Worcester. I just because I wanted it to be somewhere like kind of a big city, not so far from Gansett that it would be implausible that he would have made the move to Gansett after, you know. So he was in a kind of a big city fire department, and then when he had the chance to be chief of a smaller department, he took it. So that was a good place for him to have come from for that way. So he had all the experience he needed to make the leap to Gansett. And
Wonderful.
I make that up in the moment. Like when I say, oh, where would Mason have worked before Gansett? I make that up right then and there. Like I didn't know that before. So maybe I saw you that day and I said, oh, I'll make him from Worcester because Marilyn's from Worcester.
I just want to do a shout out to everybody. I can't wait until next year.
We're looking forward to it. Marilyn's got some stuff planned that she's got me secretly terrified about. So
are we still going to be friends?
We'll see, Marilyn. We will see after. I may have to get a different vagina manager if you embarrass me too badly. So, but who am I going to call every time I think I have diabetes if I don't have you? You know.
You can call me anytime.
I know.
For anything.
I know. I love you. You're the best. Thank you. Thanks for being here as always. And I'm looking forward to next year. We're going to whoop it up in DC no matter what. It's happening. So, oh, and I brought this to show you, Marilyn. I got this for Christmas. It's a sheepy. So like if you're out on like a hike and you have to pee. So I wanted you to know that I have one of these just for my next
They
week.
work so good.
Yeah. So if anybody else has a sheepy, feel free to hold it up.
Mine is in my car. It stays in my car.
You do not have one in your car.
Oh, yeah.
Do you really?
I'm old. I have to stop it. I can't make it to Worcester. And now that they have all the bathrooms locked. Oh, yeah.
I had to go in a cup in my car last year. I shouldn't be telling everyone this. And I did not have the sheep pee with me. But we were in wicked traffic going to New York. It was taking 5 hours. And I was driving the car. So you want to talk about my multi-talented self? There you have it.
Well, the first time I did it was going out to Vermont.
Really? With us?
No. When I went alone with my husband.
Oh, I thought you meant when you were going with us.
I just pulled over. My husband said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Don't look."
He puts up my husband. I throw it out the window and then hand him the cup, and he's freaking out. He's like, "I'm not taking that cup." I'm like, "I didn't spill a drop." But what are you supposed to do? We were jammed up, and the traffic was. They were saying 2.5 hours from the Cross Bronx to this. I'm like, I'm not going to make 2 minutes, let alone.
No, they're the best.
Girl does what a girl's got to do. So now that we've talked about that, all right, Marilyn, good to see you. Who do we have next?
Bye.
Julie and Tia are going to quit me. Who do we got next? Let's see. Stephanie Lane. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie here?
Hi, Marie.
How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you located?
I'm all the way in Barbados.
Oh, Barbados. Wonderful. That's great. What can I do for you tonight, my friend?
Yeah, my question was, how do you keep all of those characters from all of those series in your head?
Well, it does get harder as the series go deeper. And then I hear people telling me, oh, I'm going to reread Fatal for the 90th time. And I'm just like, okay, that freaks me out because, you know, you guys know it better than I do in some cases. So that kind of scares me. But basically I do a lot of rereading. to the point that like I almost don't read anything else anymore but my own stuff, which is kind of boring, and stuff that I need for like research for various books. I read that, and then I'm always rereading my series and like trying to just, you know, reread at least once a year so I can kind of stay update. And then when I reread also, like I'm making these huge lists of stuff I want to do in the next books, you know what I mean? So it's good for ideas too. So rereading is key. I have series Bibles that list all the characters and all the details about them. And I have all these other things that I have various readers who help me keep tabs on some other things. So it takes a village to keep all these series supported, but hopefully we don't make too many mistakes. Once in a while something slips through, like Elon's father, who, and I always reread the book before I, like, as a matter of fact, last weekend, we were doing like a, I had to finish the final read of Fatal Fraud, but I also had not finished the final read of Fatal Accusation. So I had to do both last weekend. So that was kind of making my head spin a little bit. So, but yeah, I try to make sure that I'm keeping the details straight, and every so often something slips through, but hopefully not too often. So, yeah. But thanks for that question. Are we going to see you in DC next year?
I'm not sure.
I
have to wait and see how the COVID is going.
Of course. I know, the damn COVID. Let's hope that there's something we can do about it between now and then.
Yeah. Really
thanks for asking the question, though.
Thanks.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right. Who do we have next? Let's see. Catherine is saying, Catherine Johnson said to me that she once grabbed a baby diaper during a traffic jam. So see, it's not just us, Marilyn. Yeah. So, we're also still trying to get this thing to go live on Facebook. So we're working on that. So, Tiffany Brewer, is she here? Tiffany. It says Eric on the participant list, she's saying. Or you said, Julie.
Here I am.
Okay. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
So good. How are you?
Good. Where are you located tonight?
Spokane, Washington.
Wow, we're getting a lot of West Coasters. Are you anywhere near all the fires?
Well, there's some around us. There's a town that just burned. It's half an hour from my front door.
Oh my Lord.
But we're getting all the smoke. So we're in like unhealthy stage. So we're quarantined to our house anyway.
Oh, that's no good. No good. Now tell me what that says behind you on the wall. I want to see that. Once in a while.
Right. It says, once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
But on my other wall, I have the words to Thank You for Loving Me by Bon Jovi. Right, I'll show you. It's
beautiful. Please do. We all need to see that. Oh my God, I love it. That is awesome. That's beautiful. Sam and Nick have that in their house too. Let's all just go with that.
I don't remember what my question was.
All right, let me see. I think Julie put it here. What is my favorite thing about meeting my readers? Yes, it's making new friends. I've made so many new friends among my readers. I also have enjoyed watching my readers become friends with each other. I will give you an example. Katie O'Brien is a teacher. I hope I'm saying her first name correctly because I just pulled that out of my brain. So she's a teacher, and she's going back to school, and she listed a wish list for some of the stuff in her class. And I saw that, of course, the wonderful Kate Reynolds, who's a stalwart at Reader Weekend, took care of some of the stuff on Katie's list. And I just thought, like, I just love that, you know, that, and I know that they met through me, and I know that they met through my books. And like, when Julie and I got the idea to have Reader Weekend in 2014, like, we just never imagined that the readers would all become such good friends with each other, you know, and that has been such an added bonus for us. And I know that that's why people were super disappointed too, that we couldn't do Reader Weekend this year, because we wouldn't get to see, they wouldn't get to see their friends. It's not even about coming to see me anymore. So I'm kind of like, you know, just the host. But I really do. I like every chance I get to be with my readers and to meet, put faces with names, people I talk to online all the time, and finally be able to meet them in person and have that opportunity. So I do enjoy that. So, And I hope that you'll be able to come to the other Washington next year.
So I'm really excited because my niece lives there, and
Oh, cool.
so I have a place to stay. But usually on the reader weekends, my kids are still in school because we go until, you know, the third week of June.
I know. Well, you know, we've talked about trying to move it into July for that reason, but then like we run into 4th of July and it's like, there's always something, you know, and somebody said, oh, it would be great to continue to have it like we were supposed to have it in September this year and only do it later so that we would have the foliage, which would be great, except then we wouldn't be able to go to Block Island because then it's too rough. So, because the seas get really rough in the fall and then everything closes there. So there's nothing to do. So it's like, it's a balancing act of trying to get it into those months where the ferry is going to be reasonably feasible, you know? So that's really our big challenge. So, but yeah, we're keeping that in mind for when we negotiate that. I think it would be the next one that we would be able to dictate new dates would be like the 2023. So we're going to try to get it more into July if we can. But,
well, my kids are getting older, so they can fend for themselves.
Well, that's
now.
perfect. Even better.
Yes.
That's great. Well, it's nice to see you, and I love what you've got going on your wall there. That's beautiful. I love that
so much.
All right, nice to see you, and I hope we see you in DC. So
sounds good.
All right, we got Gail Herman up next. Asking me if I've thought about having characters cross over from the Green Mountain series to Gansett. And we're waiting for Gail to come on.
Here I am.
Hi, Gail. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you tonight?
Southern New Hampshire, Derry, New
so
Hampshire.
You're close to me. Everybody else seems to be on the West Coast or in Barbados.
Those are lovely places.
I know. I want to go to Barbados right about now. I'm coming over. You had asked about crossing over characters from Green Mountain to Gansett, and I want to hear like what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I love both series, so I thought to myself, and I couldn't pick a favorite. I thought to myself, they both series have big families. That maybe there would be some reason why somebody from Vermont would go to Gansett on vacation. Not anybody in particular, or somebody from Gansett wants to go skiing in the winter because they complain there's not much to do in the winter. So they could go.
And I have heard that before. Like everybody, you know, a lot of people would love to see all the various characters interacting with each other. And I will be honest with you that I have resisted that temptation because it starts to feel a little campy to me, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like, and you know, I think one of the things that I struggle with is just because I can doesn't mean I should, you know? So I think it's probably better if everybody's
well enough alone.
Yeah, and like it doesn't get all like, you know, intermingled. Like I've done a little crossover. I brought Buddy Longstreet from the Treading Water series has showed up in Gansett with Evan. And if you've read the epilogue of Everyone Loves a Hero that I added to the new version, Flynn Godfrey plays Cole Langston in the movie of Cole saving the pilot's life and landing the plane and all that. So there was a little quantum crossover with Everyone Loves a Hero in the new version that I just published about a year and a half ago. There's a bonus epilogue that's in the version that's currently on sale. I got the rights back to Everyone Loves a Hero, Love at First Flight, and Line of Scrimmage, and I added bonus epilogues in the back of each of those books to kind of give you guys an update on those couples. So I brought Flynn Godfrey from Hollywood in to be to play Cole in the movie. So I've done a few little crossovers here and there, but I tend to resist them as a whole. So, but I do understand why people think it would be fun. I get it. And like, let's make the Abbotts the cousins of the McCarthys, and how fun would that be? Well, yeah, it would be fun, but I don't know if I should do that. So, but thank you for the good question.
Yes, and I hope to see you in Washington.
I hope so. I would love that. I would love that, to have a fellow New Englander there. And Julie's telling me, because she's always one step ahead of me, that we do have July dates in 2022. because I knew that we had talked about it, but I wasn't sure if we were saying we were going to do it the next time, or if we do have July dates for 22, so in Rhode Island. So yes. Let's see. Sharon is saying she loves being here tonight. Tomorrow is my anniversary. Funny enough, tomorrow, I just thought of this today, is the 30th anniversary of the day I met Mr. Force. So yeah, so that's a little anniversary. I'm only allowed to celebrate one a year with him. He refuses to do two. So tomorrow is 30 years since I met him. Karen is here from Boston, which is very close to me. Kim Ray has the question, can you explain the timing of Maria's bone marrow testing compared to Carmen's wedding? I got confused when I read 15 months. I saw this question and I told Julie to make sure that she included it. This is from the new Miami Night series. We're not seeing Kim in the chat that we can see, but she asked this question and I wanted to make sure I answered it because it was a good one. So in the epilogue of How Much I Feel, the storyline jumps forward a year, where Carmen and Jason will have been together a year by the time the epilogue comes around. So Maria's bone marrow donation happened after Carmen and Jason met, but before the 1 year mark of that we see in the epilogue. So her story kind of goes back in time a little bit when it starts up in book 2. So that was a good question. I wanted to make sure I answered that one. Who's up next, Julie Cup? Let's see. She's texting me on the side here, so I have to look and see what's happening. I was hoping to get Dan in here to do the YMCA for us, but he swam a 7-mile race today. Swam 7 miles. Yeah. Patrizia is next. Is she here?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are
nice
you?
To see you. Where are you located right now? New York, right?
Rochester.
Rochester, New York. I knew you were in New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in New York. Well, not with that accent.
You've got a little bit of an accent.
Yes. It's the Western New York Buffalo accent, not the New York City accent.
Okay, I stand corrected. What is your question?
So my question is, have you ever thought about working with other authors and doing kind of like not like crossover, but like doing books with each other? There's another author that I follow that's doing that she's working with 2 other authors and they're each writing a book in this series, kind of pushing off to the other one.
I've seen people do that. It just is not my thing. I never have been a big fan of group projects. I didn't like them in school. I don't play well with others, and when it comes to things like that, I don't want to co-write. No, it's not my thing. I totally understand why other people totally want to do it, and I think it's great. Whatever allows somebody to be creative and keep the books coming, and if that means doing a group project or whatever, I'm all for that for them. It's just not my groove. So I really used to hate having to do group projects in school. And both my kids did too, which is kind of funny. I think that's in their DNA. So yeah, not my thing, but I can totally understand why other people enjoy it. It's just not for me. But thank you. I hope we'll see you in DC.
Absolutely. I already got it booked with my friend Amy, who's also on the call. So.
Oh, cool. Hi, Amy. Amy is next. There's an Amy next. I don't know if it's your Amy. Is it Amy Altieri?
That's her?
That's your Amy. Okay. I'm going to leave you and go to Amy. Nice to see you.
Go for it. Bye.
And we are connecting to Amy. And while we do, I want everyone to stretch and do the YMCA. Let's do it. One time. The YMCA. Next time we do this, hopefully we're all in the same room together watching Mr. Forrest prance around the room, leading us all in the YMCA. We are very much looking forward to that. So And Amy, when Amy's here, let me know.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
There
There you are.
And she's walking for Buffalo.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Ewers.
So Patty got me introduced to you.
All
By
right.
the way, and Made for Love. Anyway, yeah. So hi, Patty.
Hi. And
I'm in
walking
Rochester.
You're
too.
walking for Buffalo today.
Nope. Oh, well, yeah, of course. But I actually live in Rochester.
Yes.
Right near Patty. But yeah,
Okay.
they won. It was awesome.
So
If
did the
anyone's a
Patriots
Jets fan, I heard that. And you
Yes.
know what? I don't mind so much anymore because Brady's gone.
Mm,
Yeah.
those are fighting words.
No. Well, I didn't say I hate them. I said I don't mind as much. Right? So,
I know a lot of people love to hate Brady, but we love to love him. So
no, and you should. You should,
Yeah.
but just not me.
yeah. Well, a lot of people were looking forward to watching the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to have a much bigger audience than usual, I think, this year.
Yeah. Last time I saw, they were not doing very well.
No, it wasn't going well. That's what we saw. But hey, it went well for us today, so we're happy about that.
Me too.
Yeah,
so,
and it affects my son's mental health, so this is good. He was texting me today from college. They're having an outbreak of fire drills in their building, and like if something's wrong with the fire alarm. And of course it went off during the Patriots game, and I could just picture his head exploding. He was in the car listening to it on his radio because he was so desperate to hear the game.
see, that's something I would do.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So what's your question tonight, Amy?
Okay. So my question is, I had to write it down so I remembered. But
Okay.
anyway, so why the location change for, well, would have been this year, but now next year, from Block Island to DC?
Okay, so that's a good question. We have had a ton of requests since we did, I'm trying to think what year it was. Julie could probably tell me, like 2014 or 15. We did a party in DC, and we've had a tremendous amount of requests for another visit to DC. Because, Gansett and Fatal are my two, kind of marquee series. And maybe it's time to give DC a little attention. But we also just wanted to shake things up and give people who are maybe in the Mid-Atlantic region, who might have a hard time getting to Rhode Island, a chance to come to Reader Weekend. And we may co-locate it in other places going forward. Like maybe do next year back in Rhode Island, and then the year after somewhere else, just to give more people a chance to come.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I haven't been at all.
Oh, I hope you'll come to DC.
Oh, I'm going with Patty. We're all set.
Okay.
We have the tours set, everything.
Oh,
no,
good.
I was supposed to go this year, but yeah, oh no, I'm going. I'll go, to Block Island, because I was supposed to be
next year we'll be back doing the Rhode Island, Block Island. And we also, the other reason why Julie and I wanted to, we talked about moving it around a little bit, was just so that the people who come every year can get something different, which, last year we threw a trip to Vermont in. This year we were going to do Newport, as well as Block Island. So people who maybe have been to Block Island now 6 times, maybe want to do something different, So yeah, that's also the idea, is to kind of give us something new to look forward to. And Julie lives in DC. That's where we met. Actually, I was working for a company in Alexandria, and she's from there. And we worked on the same staff for a nonprofit, and that's how we met in 2003. So we used to joke about her working with me, not even for me, because she runs the whole show. She would work with me, and we joked about it. Now we do, and we have for almost 8 years. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're looking for, she literally lives a mile from the hotel, and I told her we're all coming over to her house, but she's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just a sneak attack.
Yeah, we could just
sneak
attack.
attack.
Like a sneak attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that's why we decided to shake things up a little bit, so that we could keep it fresh for people who come every year, and then also give people in other areas of the country the opportunity to come. So
very nice.
And then we kept it quiet because we didn't want to. We wanted to kind of be a surprise at the end of we had all this big fun we were going to do to tell you where we were going next year. So we'll continue to, if we do another location, a remote location, we'll keep it secret until the end of the year before, so that we can, make it fun. So
nice. Very nice.
Thanks for the question.
Thanks.
And I
can't wait to see everybody.
You'll have a blast.
Oh, I know.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Nice to see you. Erin Austin is up next. And she wants to know, well, I'll let her tell you.
I honestly don't remember.
All right, I'll tell you. You asked me what series do I enjoy writing the most. But first, I want you to tell me where you are.
Oh, I have made my little sign. I'm in Long Island, New York.
Long Island. Okay, cool. So we've had a lot of Las Vegas. We've had a lot of New York, a little New Hampshire, some Barbados, and some Spokane. So the series I enjoy writing the most is probably Gansett, only because Gansett feels like home to me because I've spent a lot of time on Block Island in my life, and it's very much like a feeling of being home. But I like writing Sam from the Fatal series almost more than I like writing anything else because she makes me laugh out loud like as I'm writing her. So I really do like the stuff that comes out of her mouth. It's almost like people think it's weird that when I say this, like I don't even think of it as me writing her. It's like she is just channeling. Like she's so real to me that I just like Jesus, take the wheel, you know. She's off she goes, you know. So yeah, I really enjoy writing Gansett the most, but I enjoy writing Sam as the character the most. So probably those two series are my favorite to write. But I enjoy all of them, or I wouldn't do them, you know. So they all bring something different to me, and hopefully to you as well. So, and we're gonna see you in DC. I hope. Oh wait, is she muted, Julie? Did you mute yourself or? Okay, so Erin, we're not able to hear you. I'm sorry, but hopefully we'll see you in DC. And thank you for the question, and thank you for being here. And then we also have, let's see, who's up next, Julie? We have another private.
I'm sorry, I live near a train, so in the middle of your answering my question, the train was going past.
Oh,
so.
no problem. I get it. Okay, no problem. Thank you for that, because it would have been like a My Cousin Vinny moment.
Well, thank you for answering.
Thank you, and I hope we'll see you in DC.
I will try.
I hope so. If not, back in Rhode Island in 22. I can't even believe we're talking about like 22, 21, you know, like how'd we get there? All right, guys. So we have a time for a few more questions. And Julie is feeding them to me. And while she does, I will just make sure I tell you again that if you want Reader Weekend info, you go to marieforce.com/readerweekend. /weekend, no reader, just weekend. And all the info you need to sign up and register for everything is there. We've added the 2 trips, and so we're super excited about that. And I'm really, one of the trips, the one during the day, we're going to stop at Eastern Market, which is a place that Julie took me when I was researching the Fatal series. And you'll remember that Eastern Market plays a role in Fatal Affair. And the place is really awesome, and I think you guys will like it a lot. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to showing you. Look at Tia showing off. Tia is so tech savvy. Look at this. She puts this up on the screen. The Embassy Suites in Alexandria, Virginia, June 18th and 19th, 2021. And we are super excited about the Friday dinner, the bus trip on Saturday. We'll show you all around DC. You'll get time at Eastern Market in Georgetown. We'll come back and do dinner, the Q&A, and the book signing that we do every year. And then we'll do the evening tour to DC with a stop at the Lincoln Memorial. So we're super duper psyched about that. If you're already registered and you need to add one or both of the DC bus tours, contact Julie at marieforce.com and she will help you register. So let me see if there's any questions left that we haven't done yet. I don't see any more. So I know that there were a couple of others. So I'm waiting for Julie to tell me who's next, and then we'll go from there. I keep getting Erin, Julie, so I'm not really sure what to do about that. So in the meantime, I will tell you also, I'm working on Let It Be, which is Lincoln and Molly's story, and going back in time to 1980 when they first met, and they were building houses in Mississippi. And I did some research about Mississippi at that time and what was going on there and this and that and the other thing. And I found out that there was a hurricane the September before they would have met. So I have them there rebuilding. after the hurricane, which was convenient for my story that happened in the fall of 1979. So I'm using that as a little launching off pad. So we're looking forward to doing that. Oh, look who's here. Come here. He's coming in with a special surprise for you guys. Can you just give us the YMCA motion so that they can have it once? YMCA. Oh, you are very, very tapped out tonight.
My shoulders are very tired.
He swam 7 miles today.
7.3.
7.3, and the man's going to be 60 in February. So, yeah. So, and he's about to. He's like a scratch and dent sale. He's got a new knee. He's going to be getting, and he already has a new hip. So, I keep telling him I'm going to trade him in for 2 30-year-olds, and he's like, you wouldn't know what to do with them. And I said, yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming. All right.
Hi, everybody.
We'll see you in DC.
Okay.
I might see you before then.
Yeah, probably.
So every year in Reader Weekend, if you haven't been before, you'll get to see Mr. Forrest lead the crowd do the YMCA. It's become an annual tradition. So yes. Let's see. Melissa Blanchard is here. Hi, Melissa, from Australia. I just want to say hello to her because I've met her. She was here a couple of years ago and we met for dinner. And actually she stayed in my rental house, which was kind of fun. So she said she did not submit a question prior, so maybe I can sneak one in. How many characters do you have in your head that haven't been written yet? A few, not tons, but a few. I don't work too far out with the books. I kind of keep myself like definitely to one book at a time with maybe another one percolating over here, but I don't get too far ahead of myself. So we also have Beverly in the queue. Is she up? Beverly Happy?
Yes, right here.
Hi, Beverly. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Are you wearing Patriots gear there by any chance? Canton, Mass. That my son is right near you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
College, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really funny. He's in the next town over.
Okay.
Yes. Good day for the Pats today. Cam was looking good.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very happy about that.
Yes, my son is able to be mentally in a good place, so I'm glad about that.
Yeah. Still miss Tom though.
I know. We love Tommy.
And Rob.
I know. And Rob. Yep. So your question was about how I'm writing so many stories. How do I have time to relax, or what do I do to relax?
Yep.
So lately it's been, I go to the boat with this guy who's always with me. There he is. You guys are wondering where he was, right? There he is. Sam Sullivan. Sammy, say hi to the people, you lazy bones. Yeah. So he's having third evening nap now. So he and I go to the boat almost every day. And I don't know what happens to me there, but I become kind of a noodle. And talk about relaxing. It's just so fun. And just we sit out there and watch the world go by. And I'll give you a little example of what goes on out there. So 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? I don't know. 2 weeks ago, I guess. Jake came home from school with a couple of friends. He wanted to show them the boat, and we're sitting out there, and they decided to go jump off some rocks that were near. And his roommate stayed with me while they went off in the little boat and went to the rocks. And while we're sitting there, this white Nike comes floating by, and his roommate Brandon goes, well, that's random. So the boys were coming back from the rocks, so they grab the white Nike and they bring it up on the boat. Fast forward 2 hours later, we hear this kid going around in an inflatable boat. Anyone seen a white Nike? So we're like, we've got it. So I mean, like, it's just nonstop mayhem, like all the time. Like last weekend we were sitting out there, Dan and I were there by ourselves, and he was up top, and all of a sudden he yells at me to come out and hurry. and 2 boats have broken loose off of a mooring and they're moving towards ours like with rapid speed. And I guess the guy who owned the bigger of the 2 boats was swimming when his wife realized the boats were loose. So there was a lot of screaming, and they got the boat started, and 2 boats tied together. They got one of the boats started in time, literally right before they were going to smash into my newly renovated boat. So, like, it's always something, always. But believe it or not, that's kind of relaxing because I'm not having to make shit up. It's all just happening right in front of me, you know? So, but I don't know, like my cousin, who also is self-employed and runs his own business, he and I tie up our boats together, very often, almost every weekend. And we always talk about how it's the great escape, you know, I mean, it's just really so much fun. So we've probably got about 4 more weeks before the boat will go up the river to the winter home and be hauled out of the water for another winter. But we had a damn good time this summer. So it was such a nice escape from it all. But that's what I do to relax. And then in the off season, when we're not on the boat, I read a lot, watch a lot of movies, hang out with my dogs and my kids and my husband and just pretty much my friends and just chill, you know. I'm pretty chill.
Good.
Nice to see you. Thanks for rooting for the Pats.
Oh, yeah.
I hope we'll see you in DC.
I hope so.
Okay. Andrea Hobarth is up next, and we're going to be wrapping up soon. And if your question didn't get answered, I will make sure that they all get answered when we post this to Facebook. So I will answer all the questions. Is Andrea here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I see your name, but I don't see you.
Yeah, I don't really like doing video stuff.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you located?
I'm in McKinney, Texas. It's a suburb outside of Dallas.
Okay. So do you remember your question?
Would you be open to coming to Texas for a book event, or do you only stay on the East Coast?
I would definitely be open to going to Texas. It's actually on my short list of places that I would like to do a weekend, because when I went to Houston, we had so many readers sign up for our get together that I had to do 2 of them. So I definitely know I have a lot of readers in Texas, so I would definitely consider Texas as one of the future locations. So we're probably going to ask people, probably do some sort of poll and like get people to vote on where they want a reader weekend for some of the future years. And we will definitely, Texas is high on my list of places. So
it's nicely central located.
Yes, it is. That too. And I already know I have a lot of readers there. So, yeah. But you had also asked, how many books do I plan for the Miami series, and will Dee's brothers get their own books? And right now I have 3 books planned. I never, you guys know how I am. I never plan very much further in advance than where I am right now. I had no idea that Gansett was going to go to 23 books and Fatal was going to go to 16, and, Green Mountain and Butler were going to go to 12. I had no idea that was going to happen. So it all just depends. I try to keep it really organic and let it unfold the way it's going to. So right now I'm really focused on Dee's book. And I know there's a lot of other characters that we all find interesting. I actually have a couple of ideas for other characters that you've already met and people that I would like to pair. I just got to see how it goes. So, hi. Who just popped up? Okay. So that, hopefully that answers Andrea's question. I'm looking for Susan Staudinger. Am I saying that right? Susan?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good, how are you? I know you.
Yes. We had our own little chat.
Yes, we did. Yes. I'm like, wait, I just talked to her recently. She quote unquote won me in a like a online auction for charity, and my cousins and my family always thinks it's so funny that I'm a quote unquote prize. They're like, oh, you're a prize, all right. They think it's hilarious. So.
It was fun. So
yeah, and one time I gave away breakfast with me in Vermont when we were doing a book signing up there, and my cousins were like, "That's a prize. Have they seen you in the morning?" So It's not a prize. So you had a question for me. Do you remember it?
I think it was something to do with which is your favorite character to write.
Right. And it is Sam, of course, from the Fatal series, because she's just, you know, you can't, like, you almost can't make her up. I did make her up, but you almost can't make her up. She's just crazy. And she's even more so in this next book because she's pursuing justice for a woman she can't stand. So that was kind of a fun dynamic to bring into the series. And people keep telling her, like, yes, you do actually have to care about who murdered this woman because murder is still illegal, even though she was a despicable human being and probably had it coming, you know. So that was fun to write when Sam is you know, really in true Sam form. So, and I know that you're in Arizona, right?
I am in Arizona, yes. Pretty hot here, but although it's cooled off the last couple of days.
I've seen that. People complaining that it's in the 60s there. So
I'll never complain about that.
No, because you're from here originally, aren't you, from the East Coast?
I'm originally from New York City, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, that's a big change in climate to move to. Yes.
Yeah, although that's why I'm here, because I don't like the snow and the cold. So.
Oh well, yeah. I kind of look forward to it now. It's good writing weather, so I get almost a year's worth of work done in the wintertime because there's nothing else to do.
Well, ironically, actually, I don't really like the snow, but we've got a little Christmas trip planned to Lake Tahoe, where we have a little cottage that we're renting and taking the dogs to go play in the snow. So I think that'll be fun.
Love that. My dogs love the snow. Yeah. Except for this one, he likes napping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big job to follow me around all day. So.
One quick question though with that too. I was going to ask, is the audio book for Fatal Fraud coming out at the same time as the book?
Yes, it's currently being recorded by Eva Kaminsky, who is the voice of the Fatal series. You'll all be glad to know. And she is working on it now, and we are expecting it to be released simultaneously. We're hoping. There's a few aspects of that we do not have control over. So we can only submit the books within the time frame that they request, you know, to do simultaneous release, and then hope for the best. So if it's not day of, it will be close. So.
Okay, good. I do like listening to the audiobooks, so.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that 2 of them were late this year, but we thought it would be better to wait for Joan than to switch narrators for one book for each of those 2 series. So she was not as well set up for home recording as some people are. So she is now, but when COVID hit, you know, that was kind of something that they were unprepared for with her. And so now she's set up at home. But we decided to be faithful to our studio and our narrator, and to I'm sorry about the delay, but I felt like that was the right thing to do, rather than have somebody totally different, you know, record one book in Gansett and one book in Butler and then be back to her. Like, just, you know. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes the narrators aren't available when we need them. So that causes a problem too, you know, so.
Okay. Well, I've already got the ebook, you know, pre-ordered, but sometimes I like to do, you know, switch back and forth. So I like the audio.
I appreciate everybody that pre-orders. That's very helpful to the cause. So thank you. I appreciate it. So we're going to take one more question, because I promised Tia and Julie I would only take an hour of their Sunday night, and I've taken an hour and a half now because we had to do some prep work. So Celia Ruther is up next. I hope I said her name right. And I'll wait for her to pop in, and we'll take that one question. And then anybody else who had other questions, you will get them answered, I promise. The hour always goes by so fast because we're just gabbing like girls here, right? So when Celia comes in the meantime.
Myself.
Oh, is she here?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Hey. So I saw you down in Miami.
What's that?
I saw you down in Miami.
Oh, right. So you're in Miami. Okay. And
a little north of there.
Yeah, whereabouts?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Yeah. No,
everyone will know that
really well.
No one's heard of the city I'm really from.
Where?
It's North Lauderdale.
North Lauderdale. Okay. Well, my parents used to stay in Lauderdale by the sea, which is probably close to you. At the top of Lauderdale Beach.
I'm more inland.
Okay.
I'm more inland by Coral Springs, that kind of area.
Close to Miami, though.
Yep, close enough.
Yeah. So you have a question?
The question I think I had asked was, were you looking to go into do any other series other than kind of the main ones you're doing now?
So I do still have the Newport Naked series brewing in the back of my mind about a guy who inherits his grandmother's massive house in Newport and turns it into a nudist resort. So I'd really, really like to do that. But right now my hands are very full. And I also would like to write another book in the 5 Years Gone, 1 Year Home world for Miles, who was Ava's boss in 5 Years Gone and lost his fiance and her parents on the ship. And so I would really like to write his book, and then we would hear more about his romance with Skylar, who was Ava's roommate that she fixed him up with. So so I have so much going right now that I don't anticipate starting anything new for a while. Yeah. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do about Butler. I'm going to do Lincoln Molly's book, obviously Let It Be. And then I want to do something for Max, but I don't feel ready to do Max yet because he's so young still. I may jump the timeline forward in that series and pick it up like a couple years later, which I think would be kind of fun to do. And have like a lot of things have happened, and new babies. And then Max would suddenly be 25 or 26 and not 23. And, his little boy is now, 3 or 4. And it would open up some different opportunities for me than what currently exists, So he had a little fling in the last book, but I don't really know what I'm going to do about her, if she's going to be his love interest or not. I don't know. So, yeah, so I would like to do at least 2 more books there, but I also have an interest in whatever is making Noah grumpy. And, I'd like to do something with Izzy, and I sort of fixed her up with Mia's real father in the last book, and now I'm kind of like, all right, what am I going to do about them? So there's other stories to be told there. I just don't know if I end that series, then I might have room for another one. But right now I'm not really planning to end that series yet, as I just basically told you, ideas for 4 more books. So,
and maybe Charlie have a baby, even though she says she doesn't want one.
She's not going to have a baby. Charlie is not going to have a baby. Charlie does not want to have a baby. And I really intend to remain true to who she is and not suddenly have her turn up pregnant when she does not want to be. I don't think she's doing anybody any favors by having a baby when she doesn't want it, especially the baby. So before I leave you guys tonight, I do want you to take another look at the store. We've got some new stuff in there. We've got a bumper sticker that says you'd rather be reading a Marie Force novel, which has been really popular. A lot of people have been buying those. We also have the face mask coming that has the same saying on it. We've recently replenished the blue Gansett hoodies with some new sizes. And we have more of the anchor sweatshirts coming for the small, medium, large, the medium, large, and extra large sizes we just ordered today. So, and we're also going to be bringing some new boxes, series theme boxes. We're going to be offering them with and without the books this time. So if you already have the books and you just want the box, you can get it with just the stuff and not the books. So watch for that. More info coming on that. And again, the Reader Weekend sign up is marieforce.com/weekend. So thank you so much for being here and for giving a little celebration for Reader Weekend that we all missed out on, which I'm super sad about. But next year, hopefully we'll be back together in DC. And then after that, the year after that, back in Rhode Island. So I hope you guys all have a great week. And thanks for coming to help celebrate a little Reader Weekend, a mini Reader Weekend. And hopefully we can do it in person in June. So have a good night and thank you for being here.